The sun dips below the horizon, casting a blood-red glow through the trees. The sky is painted in hues of orange and crimson, signaling the end of another day and the beginning of something far more mysterious. Black claws of shadow reach across the forest floor, stretching and twisting as if alive. The forest seems to breathe, its dark heart pulsing with an ancient rhythm. Ancient trees stand as silent sentinels, their gnarled branches like twisted fingers against the twilight sky. These trees have witnessed countless secrets, their bark etched with the whispers of time. This is no ordinary woodland, this is Whispering Woods, a place where the ordinary rules of nature seem to bend and break. The air is thick with an unspoken tension, a sense of foreboding that chills the bone. Locals speak of it in hushed tones, warning of unseen eyes and voices that beckon from the depths. They share tales of those who entered and never returned, their fates sealed by the forest's dark embrace. But some, drawn by curiosity or a darker impulse, dare to enter. They are lured by the promise of uncovering the unknown, of facing the forest's mysteries head-on. The air grows heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. A thick mist rolls in, obscuring the path and adding to the sense of disorientation. The forest floor is a treacherous carpet of tangled roots and unseen hollows. Each step is fraught with danger, as if the forest itself is trying to ensnare those who dare to tread upon it. As darkness deepens, shadows twist and writhe, taking on menacing forms. They seem to move with a life of their own, creating an ever-shifting landscape of fear. A low rustle, the snap of a twig, every sound sends shivers down the spine. The forest is alive with whispers, each one a reminder of the unseen dangers lurking just out of sight. It's the unseen that truly terrifies. The sense of being watched by something ancient and hungry, eyes that pierce through the darkness, following every move, every breath. This is where our story unfolds, in the heart of the Whispering Woods, where every shadow hides a secret and every whisper tells a tale of dread. 3 tales, each a chilling whisper from the heart of darkness. Stories that have been passed down through generations, each one more terrifying than the last. 3 encounters with the unknown, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, where the forest's whispers become screams, and the darkness becomes an all-consuming void. These are the stories of those who dared to listen to the whispers of the woods and faced the consequences. Tales of bravery and folly, of curiosity and fear, of the eternal struggle between light and darkness. John, a seasoned hunter, scoffed at tales of the Whispering Woods. He had heard the stories from fellow hunters, tales of eerie voices and strange occurrences that sent shivers down their spines. But John was not one to be easily swayed by ghost stories. He believed in what he could see and touch, and the woods, to him, were just another hunting ground. Armed with his rifle and years of experience, he ventured deep into its embrace, seeking a prize buck. The forest was dense, the trees towering above him, their branches intertwining to form a canopy that blocked out the sky. The deeper he went, the quieter it became, the usual sounds of the forest replaced by an eerie silence. As dusk settled, a thick fog rolled in, muffling all sound but the beating of his own heart. The fog was so dense that it seemed to swallow everything around him, reducing visibility to mere feet. John felt a chill run down his spine, but he shook it off, attributing it to the cold evening air. He felt a prickle of unease, a sense of being watched. It was a feeling he couldn't shake, no matter how much he tried to convince himself it was just his imagination. The hairs on the back of his neck stood on end, and he tightened his grip on his rifle. Then he heard it, a voice, faint at first, carried on the wind. It was barely audible, a whisper that seemed to come from all directions at once. John stopped in his tracks, straining to hear. The voice was weak, almost drowned out by the rustling of the leaves. "Help me," it rasped, the desperate plea of a man in distress. The words were filled with pain and fear, and they sent a shiver down John's spine. He looked around, trying to pinpoint the source of the voice, but the fog made it impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. John, his instincts overriding his fear, pushed forward, following the sound. He moved cautiously, his senses on high alert. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of leaves made him jump, but he pressed on, determined to find the source of the voice. The fog grew denser, the voice stronger. "Please, help!" The desperation in the voice was palpable, and it tugged at John's heart. He quickened his pace, his eyes scanning the fog for any sign of movement. It seemed to come from a figure huddled at the base of a giant oak. The figure was barely visible through the fog, a dark shape against the backdrop of the trees. John approached cautiously, his rifle at the ready. As John approached, his flashlight beam revealed not a fellow hunter, but a rotting carcass picked clean and draped over the tree roots. The sight was horrifying, and John felt bile rise in his throat. The carcass was old, the flesh decayed and the bones exposed. The stench of decay filled the air, choking him. It was a smell he would never forget, a mix of rot and death that seemed to cling to his clothes and skin. He gagged, covering his mouth and nose with his sleeve, and then the voice whispered again, this time directly into his ear, cold and rancid, "You are next." The words sent a jolt of fear through him, and he spun around, his flashlight beam cutting through the fog. But there was no one there, only the oppressive silence of the forest. John stumbled back, his blood turning to ice. His mind raced, trying to make sense of what was happening. Was it a trick of the fog? A hallucination brought on by fear? But the voice had been so real, so close. He fled the woods, the chilling whisper echoing in his mind, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within. He didn't stop running until he was out of the forest, the safety of his truck a welcome sight. As he drove away, the voice continued to haunt him, a sinister reminder that some stories were more than just tales. Sarah, a young hiker, strayed from the marked trail, lured by the allure of wildflowers. As daylight faded, she realized her mistake. Lost and disoriented, panic began to set in. Then through the growing darkness, she heard it, a chorus of whispers, soft and melodic, like a siren's call. They seemed to offer guidance, urging her deeper into the woods. This way, they beckoned, their voices weaving a hypnotic spell. Sarah, desperate for a way out, followed their ethereal guidance. The whispers led her deeper and deeper, away from the familiar paths, until the trees pressed in on all sides, their branches forming a suffocating canopy overhead. Just when she felt her hope dwindling, the whispers abruptly stopped. She was plunged into an oppressive silence, more terrifying than the voices themselves. Alone, lost, and consumed by fear, Sarah sank to her knees, the whispers now a haunting memory. Section 4, The Promise and the Price, a child drawn into silence. Little Emily, playing on the edge of the woods, heard her name called. It was a sweet, playful voice, like that of another child. Intrigued, she ventured into the trees, following the sound. "Come closer," the voice whispered. "I have something for you." Emily, drawn by an innocent curiosity, pushed deeper into the woods, the voice leading her on. The forest floor seemed to soften beneath her feet, the trees closing in like a protective embrace. The voice continued to whisper, promising her treasures and secrets. It spoke of a hidden glade where flowers bloomed in eternal spring and animals talked. Emily, captivated by the promise of such wonders, followed blindly. Then, just as abruptly as it began, the voice stopped. Emily, standing alone in the deepening twilight, felt a chill run down her spine. The woods were silent, the promised glade nowhere to be found. Only the rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl answered her cries for the voice to return. Section 5, Unseen Eyes, Unheard Words, the Forest's Lingering Menace. The stories of the Whispering Woods serve as chilling reminders of the unseen forces that lurk just beyond our perception. These tales have been passed down through generations, each one adding a layer of mystery and fear to the already ominous reputation of the forest. The locals speak in hushed tones about the strange occurrences that have taken place within its depths, from inexplicable disappearances to eerie sounds that defy explanation. They speak to our primal fear of the unknown, the unsettling feeling of being watched, of being hunted by something we cannot see or comprehend. This fear is not just a figment of our imagination, it is a deeply ingrained instinct that has helped humanity survive through the ages. The forest, with its dense canopy and shadowy undergrowth, becomes a perfect setting for these fears to manifest. These are not just tales to be told around a campfire. They are glimpses into a darker reality that exists just beyond the veil of our everyday lives. The campfire stories serve as a warning, a way to keep the curious and the unwary from venturing too far into the unknown. But for some, the allure of the forest's secrets is too strong to resist, and they find themselves drawn into its depths, never to return. The woods themselves stand as a testament to this truth. The ancient trees, with their twisted branches and thick trunks, seem to hold the weight of centuries of secrets. The undergrowth is so dense that it feels like a living entity, ready to ensnare anyone who dares to tread too deeply. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig adds to the sense of foreboding that permeates the air. The gnarled trees, the tangled undergrowth, the oppressive silence, all whisper of a power that is both ancient and malevolent. This power is not easily understood, nor is it easily dismissed. It is a force that has existed long before humans set foot in these woods, and it will continue to exist long after we are gone. The silence is not just the absence of sound, it is a presence in itself, a reminder that we are not alone. It is a power that feeds on fear, on curiosity, on the vulnerability of those who dare to enter its domain. The forest seems to have a mind of its own, sensing the emotions of those who wander into its depths. It preys on their fears, amplifying them until they are overwhelmed. The glowing eyes in the darkness are not just a figment of the imagination, they are a manifestation of the forest's malevolent intent. And so the whispers continue. They are carried on the wind, rustling through the leaves, echoing through the trees. These whispers are not just random sounds, they are a form of communication, a way for the forest to convey its intentions. They speak of danger, of secrets, of a world that exists parallel to our own, just out of reach. They echo through the trees, carried on the wind, a constant reminder that the forest is never truly silent. Even in the stillness of the night, the forest is alive with activity. The whispers are a reminder that the forest is always watching, always listening, always waiting. They are a testament to the forest's enduring power and its ability to instill fear in the hearts of those who dare to enter. It is listening, watching, waiting for its next victim. The forest is patient, knowing that eventually someone will venture too far, driven by curiosity or a sense of adventure. It is in these moments of vulnerability that the forest strikes, claiming its next victim. The glowing eyes in the darkness are a warning, a sign that the forest is always vigilant, always ready to pounce. And somewhere, deep within its shadowed heart, the voices are plotting, whispering of new ways to lure the unsuspecting, to claim them as their own. These voices are not just the product of imagination. They are a real and present danger. They speak of traps and snares, of illusions and deceptions, all designed to lead the unwary deeper into the forest's grasp. The forest holds its secrets close, but one thing is certain: the whispers will never be silenced. They are a constant presence, a reminder of the forest's enduring power and its ability to instill fear in the hearts of those who dare to enter. The forest is a living entity, always watching, always waiting, always ready to claim its next victim. And so the whispers continue, echoing through the trees, a testament to the forest's enduring menace.